Welcome to Judo Crazy Georgia and to its stunning capital, Tbilisi. This ancient metropolis is steeped in history, and its mixture of classical architecture and rugged natural beauty make it one of the most picturesque locations on the IJF World Tour. Judo is huge in Georgia, and last year Tbilisi made its debut as a Grand Prix host to wide fanfare in the streets as the locals had a chance to see their national judo heroes in action. 1 month ago, the World Tour kicked off in Dusseldorf, where there was a gold for Georgia's judo poster boy Liparteliani. The world number one would be in action here in Tbilisi, and he was mobbed by the media at the draw, in which his name was in the hat with world number 2 Toth and his dynamic compatriot Giviniatvili. At under 78 kilograms, old rivals Harrison and Chimeo were on course for a showdown, whilst the huge entry in Tbilisi ensured judo fans would see a host of top superstars in action. All of them looking to leave Georgia with a gold. We start with the under 78 kilos category, where the final was between USA's Harrison, the reigning Olympic champion, and one of her biggest rivals, former world champion Francis Chimeo. Both athletes were on the podium in Chelyabinsk, Chimeo with a silver and Harrison a bronze. Both will be looking to go one better this year in Astana and reclaim their world titles. Here in Tbilisi, they enjoyed straightforward runs to the final. Chimeo's highlight was a nifty piece of footwork to score Wazari against Turchin of the Ukraine. She followed it up with a tactical win against Hungary's awkward Jew. Chimeo still in first gear. Harrison looked the more dangerous of the pair, scoring a big ippon in her opening bout against Great Britain's Gibbons. A rematch at the final in London. Harrison once again proving the stronger. She then countered Ukraine's Turks to take her backwards into a hold, before her Italian opponent Gallioni made the mistake of launching a weak sacrifice technique in the semi-final. The result was a clinical pin from Harrison, who had booked her place in the Tbilisi final. The score between the two is currently 4-3 to Chimeo. But Harrison knows how to pull a victory out of the bag when she needs it most. Chimeo would have to dig deep. Straight off the bat, she made a mistake, an illegal grip break. Penalty. Harrison then forced the issue with effective gripping tactics. Then, as the American got a high grip, Chimeo ducked under the arm. A second penalty. Would that be enough to give Harrison the win? Well, Chimeo really started to struggle in this last minute. You can see that by her face, and Harrison still coming on strong. Harrison so determined. Big arm over the top. There's the Ouchi. Nice strong Ouchi. Now what's going to happen? She's locking off for the Sangaku there, Harrison. Chimeo, not a good place to be, and she's just rolled her into it, and Chimeo's given it up. Ippon there to Harrison, and that makes it 4-4 with their head-to-heads. That was a really good bit of judo, good bit of transition there from Kayla Harrison, the Olympic champion. Sangaku with the legs, and she just piled on the pressure. Chimeo, though, you could see it. She didn't have anything left, and she just wanted to give it up and go home. And she taps out, and Kayla Harrison wins the gold medal by ippon. And this shows just how much Harrison wants to win that second world title. And well, who can stop her?
My last 3 tournaments I've won, so I'm feeling really good about it. It's just all part of the journey. We are 4-4 now, technically, but we've been fighting since the 2008 Junior World Championships. We fought in the final there. And she's one of those matches where you really can't make any mistakes, you can't take anything for granted, and you have to go out there and really, really want to win. We have basically one tournament every month from now until the World Championships, and that's really just to stay in fighting shape and to stay sharp for the Worlds this year and ultimately, road to Rio.
Chimeo's French teammate Iman has had a renaissance late on in her career since returning from under 63 kilograms to under 70 kilograms last year. At the end of 2014, she won gold in both Jeju and Tokyo. And here in Tbilisi, she looked determined to continue that form into 2015. After a stunning Ippon Seoinage in her first contest, she somehow came up with an even more spectacular version of the technique in the semi-final against Austria's Graf after just 46 seconds. How could anyone stop her in the final? Germany's Dietrich was looking to do just that. The highlight in her elimination contest was this strangle against Ukraine's Prokopenko. Would Dietrich be able to stop Iman, making it 3 gold medals from her last 3 events? The answer was yes. Dietrich was strong in the gripping and put in an extra couple of attacks that meant a crucial passivity penalty to Iman. With the seconds ticking away, Iman put in one last gasp attack. The German managed to escape and hold on for her first ever Grand Prix gold medal. At the heaviest female weight of over 78 kilograms, the gold medal was won by China's Song Yu. In the final, she produced a devastating counterattack, and Ukraine's Yaronka stepped in with Osota Gary. Top spot meant she moved from 5th on the IJF World Rankings to 3rd. The final of the lightest female weight category of under 48 kilograms was between Spain's Figaro and Ukraine's Cherniak. Cherniak was much the stronger, taking down Figaro twice for Wazaru. First a sacrifice technique, Taniotoshi, and the second an Oguruma. It meant the decisive Ippon. Gold to Ukraine and to Cherniak. The next weight up at under 52 kilograms was a tighter affair between 2 old stagers. Belgium's 38-year-old Halen versus 32-year-old Sundberg of Finland. It was Sundberg who edged the contest. A nifty sacrifice attack on Halen rotated the Belgian fighter onto her back, and Sundberg was into outside combat. Halen managed to escape, but at the expense of conceding a Yuko score. It was enough to secure the title for Sundberg and resulted in her 4th IJF World Tour gold. Another judoka to win her 4th World Tour gold was Mongolia's Dusseldorf in the under 57 kilos category. Dusseldorf's speciality is her drop Seoinage, which she used against France's Rosovu and Romania's Caprioriu in the eliminations. In her semi-final, Dusseldorf displayed strong groundwork skills against Germany's Roper, who was forced to submit after the Mongolian fighter applied a strangle with her legs. In the final, it was back to the trusted drop Seoinage as she put away Bedetti of Slovenia. Victory meant a move from 7 to 6 on the IJF World Ranking list. The final of the under 63 kilos category would see Slovenia's rising star Treshnyak looking to add another gold medal to her growing collection when she took on Sadev Soren of Mongolia in the final. And Osota Gary from Treshnyak scored a Yuko to earn her the lead. But, typical of the Slovenian, she pushed for the win on the ground and was able to free her leg from her opponent to secure a pin and win the contest outright by Ippon. More great stuff from Treshnyak, who has now established herself as one of the very best in the category.
I'm very happy. It's a nice atmosphere, a nice crowd, and I'm happy for the points for the Olympics.
The under 81 kilogram category saw in action one of the talisman of a prolific Georgian men's team. The 2013 World Champions have talent in abundance, with some of the world tour's biggest stars emanating from Georgia. Whenever one of these athletes take to the tatami, there's always fireworks. They're led by two of today's greatest judoka and biggest throwers. Liparteliani, who will be in action later. Reigning world champion Shrikishvili at under 81s. Shrikishvili's title-winning performance in Chelyabinsk last year was the icing on the cake of a run which saw him earn more ranking points than any other male athlete. His appearance in Tbilisi was a huge draw for Georgian judo fans. But it comes off the back of a shock defeat in the Dusseldorf final 1 month ago at the hands of Belgium's Botion. Here on home soil, the world number one would be looking to bounce back to winning ways. And things started well for him. An opportune ippon against Dushenska of Belarus saw him through his opening contest. Next up, he would tussle with Mongolia's relatively unknown Niam Seren, who had looked good in his opening bout with an ippon win. Could he cause an upset against the favourite? Niam Seren can't afford another penalty, that's for sure, but he's been looking dangerous. And Shrikishvili has got to watch his step. Now then, almost connected there. And massive Sinagi! Oh, Shrikishvili goes over! And you don't very often see that. Shrikishvili is devastated. On home ground, and he goes over for the biggest ippon you've ever seen. Massive Sinagi. And Niam Seren goes through to the next round. Shrikishvili is the world number one, quite clearly, and you don't see him going over like that very often. But anything can happen in judo, and it just has. He's now lost 2 on the bouts, and now Shrikishvili is gonna have to fight back. Can he do it in time for the Worlds? In a typically judo-esque twist of fate, Niam Seren then fell short in the final second against Shrikishvili's understudy Margiani, when he was thrown for Wazeri on the buzzer. It was the Georgian number 2's time to shine under the spotlight on home soil as the crowd erupted. Mongolian giant killer Niam Seren would have to be content with ultimately winning a bronze medal. Margiani was now well into his stride. A fantastic ippon against Russia's Maznovich brought more rapture from the Tbilisi faithful. Margiani taking his turn on centre stage with both hands as he made the final. But the tale of the category would have a final turn when Margiani took on Russia's Kabetsov in the final. An attacking display from the Russian earned him the ascendancy in the contest as Margiani was on the back foot. A single penalty to the Georgian would mean he would lose the contest. Kabetsov sporting the gold at the end of the day, which showed just how unpredictable and cutthroat judo can be. The home crowd didn't need to worry about over 100 kilos gold, as the final was an all-Georgian affair between Akruishvili, the world number 3, and Machiashvili, the new up-and-comer. Akruishvili delighted his public in the eliminations with one of the biggest throws of the Grand Prix. But Machiashvili showed he is just as capable of huge ippons, as he produced one great moment after another. 3 ippons from 3 contests, Machiashvili had laid the marker down. And the final he was more cautious, showing respect to Akrishvili, but not fear. Everything Akrishvili threw at him, Matiashvili crushed, proving the more positive fighter and winning on penalties. As is so often the way in judo, the more senior Akrishvili graciously accepted defeat to his junior. From the heaviest male weight to the lightest of under 60 kilograms, and to an Uchimata masterclass from Liparteliani of Uzbekistan. His first Uchimata was against Francis Kaya. After a sacrifice technique against Kazakhstan's Smetov, it was back to Uchimata in the semi-final against Georgia's Papanashvili. Not once, but twice. 3 ippons from 3. But he had time for one more, as he buried Germany's Engelmeyer with the same technique in the final. A great display of ippon judo from the Uzbek. Top seed in the under 66 kilos category was world number 3 David Dorj of Mongolia. A lightning-fast drop Sienagi on Hungary's Zambori opened his account. Next up, he chased Poland's Beta to the ground, circling around his opponent and pinning him for ippon. In the final, David Dorj would face a new threat, Shmelov, who he hadn't fought before and had looked brilliant in his eliminations. David Dorj played it cleverly in the final, keeping his distance and then closing the distance at the right time. This drop Sienagi for Wazari was the decisive score. It moved him up from world number 3 to number 2. The under 73 kilos final was between 2 fighters who had 6 ippons between them. Yikibayev of Kazakhstan and Orozhov of Azerbaijan looked awesome all day. Orozhov struck first. Then it was Yikibayev scoring 2 wazaris and as a result ippon. Back to Orozhov and another intuitive piece of judo. It was a lovely Ashiwaza combination from Yikibayev to win his next contest. Orozhov saved his best moment for the semi-final, as he buried the Olympic champion Shavdat Duashvili with an amazing Hizaguruma to progress to the final. Yikibayev's semi-final wasn't too bad either, as he drove forwards with Oso Tagari to book his place in the final against Orozhov. As for the final, and with everyone hoping for just one more ippon, both fighters locked in. One of them would be thrown, but which one? After a flurry of attacks, it was Orozhov's sumigation that was deemed the decisive technique. Using the forward momentum of Yikibayev and hooking onto his leg, Orozhov was able to roll his opponent onto his back for a wazari. Not quite the ippon, but it was enough to secure him the gold medal and move him up 4 places on the ranking list to world number 5. Orozhov's Azerbaijani teammate at under 100 kilograms, Gazimov, looked to be the man on form in his weight category. Gazimov came up with a couple of great pieces of Ashiwaza in his eliminations to secure his place in the final. But blocking his path to the gold medal was Germany's Peters, who had also shown how fast he is with his feet, winning 2 of his contests with Oso Tagari. Peters tried the same technique in the final, but Gazimov was waiting. Circling around the German and rotating him expertly onto his side, Yuko. That was enough to secure the under 100 kilos title. A good outing for the Azerbaijan men's team, with 2 gold medals. And finally, to the under 90 kilograms. Traditionally Georgia's strongest weight category. They now have 2 world-class fighters at the weight. The new dynamo Gaviniashvili and the world number 1 Liparteliani. Liparteliani was recently voted top male judoka from 2014 by IJF fans. And last month he started 2015 with a bang, winning the Dusseldorf Grand Prix in style. In Tbilisi, Liparteliani started strongly, using his favourite throwing technique, Uchimata, to put away Francis Gober in the opening contest. In his semi-final, Liparteliani showed his newfound strength in Newaza as he spun Sweden's Nyman onto his back. After freeing his leg, the pin was secure. A Yuko score for Liparteliani was enough to progress to the final. Gaviniashvili, meanwhile, was destroying everyone in his path. A massive ippon against Sweden's Svarby was surpassed by a stunning foot sweep in the semi-final against the 2014 World Silver medalist Top of Hungary. Gaviniashvili was more than ready for the 2014 World Bronze medalist Liparteliani. In the fighters' tunnel, moments before their final, the two Georgian friends shared a joke. But deep inside, Liparteliani knew that he had a lot more to lose than Gaviniashvili. Well, Liparteliani 2-0 up in their meetings, and the last time was in Dusseldorf just 2 weeks ago, and that was decided on penalties. And Liparteliani just behind on penalties here into the last minute. Gaviniashvili always dangerous, but so is Liparteliani. Look at that, hips across, massive hip throw, and Gaviniashvili holds on and drives him into the mat to stop it. Great stuff, and look at that, the president of Georgian Judo, Kevkishvili, absolutely loving this match. 34 seconds left then. Liparteliani's got him attack. Oh! Look at that already. Liparteliani thinks he's gone for Ippon, but it was mate called. The referee just called the mate, but Liparteliani didn't know about that. And he gets buried with the biggest uranagi you've ever seen in your life. He just buries him, Gaviniashvili. Liparteliani, though, breathes again. He can still come forwards. He's got 3 penalties now. It's desperation. What's he going to do? Gaviniashvili's winning this match. Can he pull one back? Looking now, arm over the top. Sumigieshi there from Liparteliani. Gaviniashvili's got him in the hole, has he? He's round the leg, and he's into the offside comment. And Liparteliani's been held down. And Gaviniashvili knows he's got it. He just secures it, and now it's all over. It's Ippon to Gaviniashvili, and what a match that was. The sportsmanship there from Liparteliani, even though he lost, was magnificent. The crowd absolutely love it. And this is what judo and sportsmanship is all about. This is what puts us on a different plane to all other sports, I think. Sumigieshi there, failed from Liparteliani. Gaviniashvili takes the moment, secures the top half and into the hold. And this could be decisive in 18 months' time, when they have to decide in Georgia which one of these two goes to the Olympic Games. Will it be Gaviniashvili or will it be Liparteliani?
It gives me great courage to win here, like this against Varlam Liparteliani. I was a little boy when I used to come here to watch Liparteliani. He was one of my heroes. Now I'm proud to be alongside him, to fight him, and to beat him.
Well, that's it from Tbilisi, Georgia. What a tournament it's been. Harrison made it 4-4 in her great rivalry with Chimayo. Is she now favourite for 2015 World Championship gold? Shrikishvili being thrown so spectacularly showed how ruthless judo can be. While the under 90 kilograms showed how beautiful it can be, how truly special it really is. Join us next week for the 2015 Samson Grand Prix.